Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
It's that time of year again to prepare for the holidays. And more importantly, it's the time of year to plan for our healthcare needs. Here to address some of the confusion and myths about long-term care and reveal key findings from the Lincoln Financial recent study on managing long-term care risk is Senior Vice President of Lincoln Financial, Andrew Buckley. Good morning, Andrew.
Hey, good morning. Pleasure to be with you, and thank you.
Share some of the key findings of this study.
70% of Americans age 65 or older are going to need some form of long-term care. And what our survey found, though, was that only 20% of consumers actually believe that they are going to need long-term care. We see that as a huge disconnect between facts and reality.
Well, how about the financial and emotional impact of not planning for long-term care?
So when we look at that, the financial impact can be significant. And what I'd ask you to think through is there's really different types of long-term care. You have home health care, you have adult day care, and you have what I think most of us think about, and that is traditional long-term care, being in a facility, if you will. So I would urge your consumers to think through those three different types, and the overall cost of that in the Miami area, as an example, is over $100,000 a year. So it's a significant cost. From an emotional standpoint, I would also recommend to think about it doesn't just impact the person that's in the facility, it can impact the entire family as you take care of that individual.
Can people rely on Medicare and Medicaid to cover their long-term care costs?
Well, yes and no. So Medicare does cover long-term care facility for the first 100 days, but after that, they no longer will cover that expense. Medicaid, on the other hand, will cover a nursing home expense, but understand they only cover that expense after you've spent down your hard-earned assets, including your home. Remember, Medicaid is a social welfare-based system that picks up after you've spent all of your assets.
So what are some of the most important things our viewers should be thinking about?
You know, I would ask you to think about this. First, understand the cost of care in your area. Rosalie, as we just talked about, the national average is about $95,000. Miami's $110,000. So understand what those costs are. Second, talk to your loved ones about your care plans. Do you want to try and stay in your home as long as possible? Do you want to move to a full care facility, etc., in the event you're unable to communicate that? And third, I would seek out the advice from a professional, be it a financial advisor, an insurance professional, because you do have options out there from self-funding to insurance funding, and as you asked about Medicare or Medicaid planning. We have a wonderful website. It's lfg.com/LTC. And on that website, a lot of what you and I have spoken about today, people can find information there.
Thank you, Andrew, for creating awareness of the need to plan and ask the right questions for our future options in long-term care. We all need advice to keep our lifestyle secure. So if you need advice to boost up your digital lifestyle, listen up to Emmy Award-winning technology and digital lifestyle commentator Mario Armstrong. Because when it comes to his family, he's even more passionate about making sure everything is covered and plenty of fun and games for the Armstrong family, mostly this holiday season. Good morning, Mario.
Good morning, Rosalie. It's true. The Armstrong household loves the holidays. We like to have a lot of fun.
All right, Mario, so what will the Armstrong family be looking forward to have fun?
The first thing is getting our dance on. We like to dance a lot. We do karaoke and all that crazy fun stuff. So we will be using Ubisoft's video game, Just Dance Disney Party 2. It brings fun to every Disney Channel fan, the best-selling music video game franchise, and it features more than 20 tracks from the hottest shows and music.
They say families that play together stay together. Anything new for family projects?
I've invested in HP's Instant Ink. I use this at home. It's a program where ink gets delivered to your house before you run low. So no more running up and down the aisles trying to find the right exact ink for your printer, or getting in the car, or dealing with any of that stress and inconvenience. So if you're going to be doing a lot of printing out of cards, or even book reports and schoolwork or gift ideas, you never want to worry about ink.
How can we make shopping for our family fun and stress-free?
I use two things that I arm myself before I buy anything during the holiday time, because I always want to get a discount if I can. And that is retailmenot.com's website or their free mobile app. You get access to over 500,000 offers, basically coupons from more than 50,000 retailers. So you can save on average up to about $20 per transaction on everything from gifts to meals to holiday travel just by using the app.
Speaking of apps, any family game apps that grab your attention?
There's two new ones that I really like that have come out from Amazon Game Studios. Now these are very new, brand spanking new, affordable games. The first one is Till Morning Light. Now this is an action-adventure game about a woman named Erica. Now Erica is awesome. Erica kind of makes her way through the puzzles of the spooky house, which is really, really cool. And then there's another one that's actually called Tales from Deep Space. Now this is a co-op intergalactic game with a lot of heart and a lot of fun. Kids and family members are going to enjoy this.
Okay, so how about fun things for families that have younger children?
Young children worry a lot. I remember when my little Christopher was a little guy, they ask all kind of questions, curiosity runs rampant, and they worry a lot. So I love these worry eaters from the Haywire group. This is an award-winning plush and huggable friend, Rosalie. It's great for the little kids. Basically what a child does is they either write down or they draw out the things that they're worrying about, what their concerns are. They feed it into the worry eater's mouth and then they zip it closed. And it's really a great way to provide parents a tool to help children talk about their worries with their kids. So lots of different, two different sizes, but lots of different characters and lots of different colors.
All right, so how can we get our family all sitting down together to have some time for music?
Yeah, it's fun to, I love music, and this is an awesome, awesome device here. I mean, it's a beautiful piano. It's made by Casio. It is a Casio compact grand piano. The model is the CGP 700. Has a 5.3-inch touch panel control screen. Everything with rhythm, tone, balance, effects.
All right, so where can we find all these great items, Mario?
Our website, Rosalie, you can head on over to thunknews.com/family.
Thanks, Mario, for sharing your advice to enjoy family fun and keep that music flowing.
Yes, will do. Yes, yes. I don't know how to play.
So how did you sleep last night? Did you know approximately 23.5 million adult Americans live with insomnia? That's 1 in 10 Americans who have trouble sleeping. Here to discuss a new awareness campaign called Beyond Tired from the National Sleep Foundation in collaboration with Merck is busy father of 2, husband and business owner Zach Taylor, along with sleep disorder expert Dr. Natalie Dowdovich, a National Sleep Foundation environmental scholar and assistant professor of psychology at Virginia Commonwealth University. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us, Zach, why did you get involved in the Beyond Tired campaign?
Well, I am a father of 2 beautiful daughters, a husband, and I have a business to take care of. And 2 to 3 hours a night was not enough. And I found myself every day staring at a wall and not having enough energy to get everything done. And so I had to find something that would help me prioritize my sleep.
All right, so what did you find and how did you find it?
Well, I found the Beyond Tired campaign. And with that, I was able to find other people that were just like me and who could not sleep at night. And through that, I was able to help shut down at night and turn off the phone, turn off the TV, and focus on what's important, and it's falling asleep. Whether I needed to do yoga or push-ups, and I I did it, and it helped me get more sleep. I was getting I'm getting like 5 to 6 hours a night.
Doctor, why is it that some people can't shut their head down, like me when they go to sleep?
Lots of people have difficulty with the cognitive stimulation, so it's important not only to physically relax, but also to help your mind wind down. And as Zach mentioned, really our ability to get good sleep at night actually depends on our behavior during the day. So making sure that we're active during the day, we're exercising. We also need to try to eliminate behaviors that can interfere with sleep. So avoiding late day napping, caffeine, alcohol, heavy meals, and taking a good look at our sleep environment to try to get an environment that is dark, quiet, cool, and comfortable.
That's why I love blackout drapes, so it's dark in the room.
Yes, exactly. Light is really one of the dominant cues that influences our sleep-wake cycle. So that's great during the day for helping us to stay alert. But at nighttime, we need to power down, and that includes dimming lights and trying to ensure that the bedroom environment is dark.
So Zach, what sleep tips have worked for you?
You know, once I found the campaign, I completely redid my bedroom. I found that I had a lot of bright colors, and so I took everything. I got darker colors, darker bed sheets, made sure the AC was on, and you know, I get better sleep. You know, and like I said before, 5 to 6 hours. You know, but it's not perfect. You know, I do fall off the wagon. You know, to use that term, and you know, get 2 to 3 hours of sleep. But you know, I keep going. I keep focusing on getting better sleep at night. And, you know, I continue to use my resources at beyondtired.org.
All right, what resources can you offer to help us to prioritize, to help us fall asleep?
Beyond Tired campaign at beyondtired.org is really a unique resource because it brings together people who have difficulty sleeping. And for those people who have insomnia, oftentimes when you're lying awake in bed at night, you can feel like you're the only person in the world suffering from this, and it can be very isolating. So Beyond Tired is a place where people can share their stories and also hear how other people are coping with insomnia.
So why is it important to keep trying different sleep tips or techniques?
Well, we're all individuals. We all have different causes for insomnia, so it's important that we try different approaches. Our sleep problems didn't develop overnight, and sometimes it takes time to improve them.
Thank you, Dr. Dadovich and Zach, for joining us this morning and sharing tips to overcome those sleepless nights. Passionate leaders evolve in many ways to change lives. For over 40 years, Tony Award honoree for excellence in theater and animal trainer Bill Berloni has been rescuing dogs, including senior dogs from shelters, and training them for TV, film, and stage performances. Bill joins us this morning to highlight National Adopt a Senior Pet Month. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Rosalie.
So tell us, Bill, how did you get involved in Adopt a Senior Pet Month?
Well, I'm partnering with my good friends over at Purina Pro Plan, you know, to talk about adopt a senior pet month, not just dog. You got to remember we have cats too, you know, but also to talk about a food that they have, this amazing food called Bright Mind Adult 7+. You know, it's nutrition for senior dogs, and so those two things just came together, and I thought I'm going to get out there and we're going to talk about senior dogs and their nutrition.
Let's talk about your interest in senior dogs.
I've trained over 200 dogs in my 40-year career, and many of them have been senior dogs, and I don't discriminate just because someone's a little older and they may not live as long. You know, this is Scooter. He's going to be starring in The Wiz Live on NBC December 3rd. You know, and not only being in a show is tough, but doing it live in front of millions of people is the toughest gig for a dog. And I found two brothers who were 10 years old, and when I met them, they were young, they were vital, and I thought, why can't they be TV stars? And they're the perfect representatives for this month and this cause.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks.
I'm an old dog, and my wife keeps teaching me things all the time.
Bill, when you rescue a senior dog, how do you align them with the perfect role?
You know, that's all about casting. You know, I mean, he does not look 10 years old. He does not look like a senior dog. He doesn't move like a senior dog. So when I met him, it was like, okay, I could get a really young Cairn Terrier who's going to be bouncy and all over the place, or I can get a guy who's mature. He's been around the block a couple times. He's like, what do I have to do? And tell me. And that's what people should know about rescue, because it's not just about working dogs. You know, if you come to a shelter, when you see a senior dog, what you see is what you get. And usually they're calmer, they're easier to train. You know, you don't have to go through all the puppy stuff, the chewing, the housebreaking. You know, they've got it all together. That's what makes senior dogs great.
All right, so what are some of the challenges to consider when adopting a senior pet?
They're already settled, they're already well-trained, they're already sort of, you know, calm and can move right into your home without a lot of transition problems. But like everything else, I take care of myself, and we all like to take care of our dogs. And so the only challenges may be doing your research about nutrition, exercise, and the care that a senior dog may need.
How can our viewers get involved to support senior pets?
You can go to your local shelters, you can go on natural search engines, and you can type in, I'm looking for a Cairn Terrier in your area, and find all the dogs that are available for adoption. You know, but if you can't adopt a dog, I want your viewers to get involved with us, because you can go to proplan.com/thankarescue. You know, you can click on stuff there, click on a little thank you note, and what's going to happen is Purina ProPlan is going to donate food to shelters, specifically the Bright Mind food for their adult population.
Thank you, Bill, for all the passion you have to turn the lives around of a senior pet and teach us all new tricks.
Thanks, Rosalie.
Every year, millions of disenfranchised youth are lost in the cracks of the system. But there is a solution. Tony Award winner Felicia Rashad is joining us this morning with David and Andrea, graduates of AMI Kids, an organization that teaches our young people that they have the potential for a better future filled with success. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Rashad, when did you first become interested in youth who need direction?
I went to the annual meeting of the board, and there were a number of graduates and students of the program there, and I saw the work that was being done, and I know the importance of the work that's being done, so I just said yes, 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 I can be involved in this.
What makes AMI Kids unique?
The state or whatever organization that they're a part of feels like there's no other choice for these kids before they go into incarceration. AMI Kids steps up and becomes a support system for us in a way that a lot of us don't have. And they help us realize our goals and give us the tools to achieve everything that we can in our lives.
So Andrea, how did AMI Kids impact your life?
I was involved with them 10 years ago, and still to this day, they're a very big part of my life. They were a huge support system when I felt that I didn't have anybody, or if I didn't, if I got lost in the shuffle of things, AMI Kids almost became like a second family to me.
And David, how did AMI Kids impact your life?
I'll say AMI really impacted my life by just really giving me hands-on, guidance, and also like hands-on direction. And anytime when I really needed somebody to talk to, or just an open ear to listen, AMI was that open ear.
Share some of your accomplishments.
I'm currently a first-generation full-time student at University of Kansas. Go Jayhawks. So, and I actually was given an opportunity to go on an educational tour to Paris, France.
How has the AMI Kids program helped you envision your plans for the future?
I enrolled in college. I went to community college in Pinellas County. I did that for a couple years, and then I went into and enrolled at the University of Florida. I've been there ever since. I'm currently now finishing my master's in business finance. So they've always been a stepping stone and a support. I keep saying support, but that's honestly that was the best thing that they could have done for me and a lot of the kids in the system.
So Ms. Rashad, share some of those successes you know about of AMI Kids.
There are over 125,000 young people who have been served by this program. There is a 77% success rate, which is a good step beyond what happens in facilities for incarceration. It's a very important program.
All right, so how can people get more involved?
Check out the website, amikids.org.
Thank you, Ms. Rashad, for all your great work and involvement to help youth avoid incarceration. And David and Andrea, keep reaching for success in your future. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Archer Disability Foundation and the Rosalie Show had another successful Disability Mentoring Day at the VA Medical Center in West Palm Beach. Volunteers from the VA mentored students with disabilities during the event. We had the opportunity to interview VA employees who also volunteer and serve veterans in the community outside the medical center. Well, tell me a little bit about the organization that you work with as a volunteer, and what is your volunteer work all about?
I volunteer with Southeast Florida Honor Flight. I got involved through the VA when we used to provide breakfast for the veterans. Honor Flight was developed to fly World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. for the day so that they can see their memorials. We do a whole day of things to honor them. As we leave the Palm Beach airport, the local firefighters do an arch of water over the plane.
Oh, how wonderful.
And then when we come into the DC airport, they do the same thing. They get off the plane and they have no idea what's awaiting them. There's bands, there's dancers, there's cheerleaders. Everyone in the airport comes out, lines the hallways and shakes their hand, hugs and kisses them. It's amazing.
Sometimes I see on a bumper sticker, a little round bumper sticker, and it says Honor Flight.
That's correct.
And that's what this is all about, right?
That is what this is about.
Colleen, great work. Great job. You do great work at the VA, and you're a great volunteer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we're also here with Ray Rios. And Ray is a retired Army man, but he also works here and he's a volunteer. Tell me about some of your volunteer work.
My volunteer work consists of my chapter here. As you may already know, West Palm Beach also is a carrier of Chapter 42, DAV, which is Disabled American Veterans, and we have a little bit over 1,800 members. A lot of them are not active because of their age, but we all have one thing in common. They all have a lot of pride, dignity, and respect for those that were here before us, such as the World War II veterans that we'd like to support during the honor flight.
All right, so where do we go from here with the honor flights?
But right now we're servicing the World War II veterans, and as you know, we're losing 1,000 a day. The next group will be the Korean War veterans. In fact, next honor flight, we're going to combine the World War II veterans, whatever's left of them, with our Korean War veterans starting April and May of next year. And after that, shortly after that would be the Vietnam War veterans and probably Afghanistan, Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
So as the years progress and people age out, if you will,
all the battle, all the combat,
all the new ones come in and start taking on, they're being honored by the honor flight.
Yes, ma'am.
Ray, tell me, why do you volunteer?
I started when I first joined the military in the 70s. My first 11 years was the 82nd Airborne Division. I was an airborne ranger. My great-grandfather, Rocky Rios, he was part of that Easy Company in World War II. And all the brothers and cousins and nephews and uncles are all combat veterans. And we have nothing but pride and concern about our veterans and what's happening to them today. If all possible, we're going to make sure we support them.
You do great work, Ray.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank God you have people like you having their back.
Oh, there's a lot of them out there. You just haven't identified them yet.
Thanks, Ray, for joining
Yes, ma'am.
us. Our next volunteer is Elizabeth Santiago. I know Elizabeth as our Disability Mentoring Day coordinator and pizza mistress. Tell us a little bit about your volunteer work that you do here at the VA Medical Center and in the community.
We work with our young Marines of the Palm Beaches, and we ask them to provide their support towards our veterans. They have presented several drawings to show their appreciation for the veterans in this hospital. So we have put up several of their drawings in our patient advocate office so that we can tell veterans when they come in, we are very appreciative of your service, and beyond our job here in this medical center, we work in our local community to support them as well.
Now tell me, why do you love to volunteer?
It gives me an opportunity to work with our youth and make sure that they present an active and healthy lifestyle while showing them the appreciation that I've learned to have towards our nation's greatest veterans. Throughout the changes in this country, we want to make sure that those who have given their lives for us and their service know that we still appreciate them to this day, even after they've retired or chose to come out of service once they've completed.
This gives you a great sense of gratification?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Aw, and you do such a great job at disability mentoring, too.
Thank
I want to thank
you.
you so much, Elizabeth, for all you
Thank
do
you.
here at the VA, coming here for disability mentoring and trying to bring up the next generation of volunteers to help a vet.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Okay, and our next volunteer is a cultural transformation facilitator. And you're a volunteer for Project 425. What is Project 425 and how did you get involved?
Well, Project 425 is, it started off with a helicopter, UH-1 helicopter, that has over 2,000 combat hours in Vietnam, that a good friend, Mike Carroll, saved it from going to the barnyard. What we do is we go around to different facilities, different places. We go to schools, churches, and we educate the community. And we bring some tears to some guys' eyes who, during the war have flew in the UH-1 helicopter and rode in the vehicle. So we touch everybody's heart. And then the young generation gets to see what their fathers and uncles and grandpas, what they flew in and what they rode in during their time in the service. How I got started with it was my son who is a two-time Purple Heart, came home to visit Mom on Mother's Day. Everyone found out about it, and he was recognized at the stadium in Roger Dean. And then he came up and got me out of his seat and said, "Dad, I have a surprise for you." And he took me downstairs, and there was a UH-1 helicopter that was sitting out there, which was Project 425. And since that day, I've been part of the Project 425. My son was in a vehicle with 5 other servicemen, and they went over an IED. It blew up. It threw my son completely out of the vehicle. Everybody else didn't make it out of there. So he was a sole survivor of 5. And my son had to learn how to do everything all over again. His body was broken and everything like that. So, and he was told that he would never jump from an airplane again and that he needed a desk job. My son now is a Halo jump master. He's really doing good. So he is my hero.
Why do you like to volunteer?
I served 21 years in the military. My family is all military, and if I can give back to the community or the country by continuously serving both at the VA and on my off time doing voluntary service, I will.
And your second generation, that's the beauty of it, Gene.
Yes,
because you have brought your son into that same form of passion.
Yes.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Leadership provides a positive volunteer experience to continue the journey of serving our community. Share with us your positive volunteer experience to serve a program in your community at facebook.com/Rose Lee Show, or follow us on Instagram at The Rose Lee Show, and watch this episode here at ION TV and dozens of other past episodes at roseleearchershow.com. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we will see you soon.